Travis Holmes with BigCatCountry.com, Fans First Sports Network, and the Duval podcast here with your Jacksonville Jaguars update and a little bit breaking news, I guess. The Jacksonville Jaguars reportedly have the sixth easiest schedule of the NFL teams in the 2025 NFL season. Now, I know that's not really breaking news, but gotta use gotta use that image when I can. So we already know who the opponents for the Jacksonville Jaguars are for the 2025 season. That information was already given previously in January, I believe January 6th of this season. We just wrote about it on BigCatCountry.com. Absolutely go and take a look. We know the Jacksonville Jaguars play the Carolina Panthers, all the AFC South opponents that they normally play, the Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans twice. They also play the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, the LA Rams, which takes on a whole new meaning now with the current leadership group, New York Jets, Seattle Seahawks, and that wraps up the home slate. And then you have on the away games, the Arizona Cardinals, Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, again, the same AFC South opponents, San Francisco 49ers, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the official release of the NFL schedule will take place on May 14th. That's when the schedule release occurs for the NFL. Last year, it took place at 8 p.m., so you kind of have to assume it's going to be later at night. But the reason I wanted to kind of bring this up is because we know the opponents and we all kind of have our feelings on. Maybe we thought the schedule will be a little bit easier, towards the end of last season. And now you're looking at it and it's like, well, it's the sixth easiest schedule, but there's a lot of trap games on that schedule. And I think that's kind of where I'm currently landing, whether it's the Denver Broncos, the Cincinnati Bengals, because Joe Burrow is a dog, the LA Rams, the Chargers, the Chiefs, things, the teams of that nature. All of those guys are pretty solid teams that can kind of beat you every day of the week. So overall, the Jaguars do again have the sixth easiest schedule in the NFL. Warren Sharp Analytics, they posted their article, kind of just laying out the rankings of each NFL team and the ease of their schedule based on Vegas, the Vegas winning forecast. So the Vegas's forecast for how many games each individual team will win in the 2025 season. Now we know Vegas normally wins, so they're normally pretty accurate, and it's a little bit better to go with this route than going with maybe to say the 2024 season, outcome, because that could have been based on injuries. That may not even be based on this current GM or the current coaching staff for that team. So this generally leans to be a little bit more accurate. So saying that the Jaguars have the sixth easiest schedule in the NFL feels pretty accurate, but as you can see from this image from Warren Sharp, it still has the Jaguars listed as a 7.5 win, win total in the 2025 season. So despite the fact that the Jaguars would reportedly have the sixth easiest schedule in the NFL, it sounds like Vegas is leaning towards this being maybe a year early or a little bit soon in the quote unquote early rebuild, revamp, whatever you want to call it, this current iteration of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Having the San Francisco 49ers having the easiest schedule in the NFL, New England Patriots at second, New Orleans Saints third, Atlanta Falcons fourth, and Buffalo Bills fifth, with Jacksonville bringing it up the rear at sixth. So I just wanted to wonder, Duval County, do you guys feel that the over under for the Jacksonville Jaguars at 7.5 is a fair number? Like, you thinking they should absolutely be more than that because they were so injured last year and the remake of this team shouldn't be as drastic as folks think? So maybe you feel like, 7.5 feels about right because of those same issues, losing Christian Kirk, losing Evan Ingram, losing a few players on the roster as far as that concerned, and having a new scheme. So I thought that was a pretty solid number, but I kind of wanted to know what other folks thought. Also, comparatively, the Tennessee Titans have the eighth easiest schedule. Indianapolis Colts have the 12th easiest, and the Houston Texans, which we love to hear, have the eighth hardest schedule in the NFL. So I thought that was really cool, just because, if they want to brag about being AFC South champions, then you got to get an AFC South champion schedule. But for those of you who are interested in looking at what Vegas shows, we use DraftKings. We don't have a partnership, anything like that. And if you're someone who has an addictive personality to gambling, please don't gamble. But for those who are just curious, DraftKings currently has the Jaguars, the over under. We're at negative 125 for over 7.5 wins, uh, plus 105 for under 7.5. And if you're someone who's feeling really frisky, over 11.5 wins for the Jaguars is plus 600. So if you think this, hey man, this is going to be a great early revamp of the Jacksonville Jaguars under Liam Cohen, if you think the biggest issue for the Jaguars in 2024 was the coaching staff and nothing more, smaller things with the personnel as far as that's concerned, then you may be someone who believes that this Jacksonville Jaguars team being, over 11.5 seems like a great bet to make. Absolutely. Just don't bet anything you're not willing to lose. But overall, I think that that's a reasonably solid, option for anyone who has excess money to waste or something along those lines, or excess money to give. But I wanted to kind of know your guys' thoughts. Like, how do you feel? Do you think that 7.5 limit is fair? Do you think the Jaguars should be closer to that 9-win mark? Do you think maybe they should just be closer to that 7-win mark? Where do you land on this? Like, let us know in the comments. We have you covered. Check out the full article on bigcatcountry.com. We will always have it there first. We have rookie training camp, the rookie mini camp on Saturday this week. So absolutely keep it locked in for that. We should be on scene. And yeah, bigcatcountry.com, Travis D. Holmes on all the socials. And we have you covered on this mailbag episode this Wednesday for the Duval Dive. So if you haven't submitted your questions already, please do so. Send them to me on the socials, Travis D. Holmes. Send it to me on, whether it's X, whether it's on Blue Sky. Make it a comment on one of my posts, anything. So we'll try to get that taken care of this week. Answer your questions, whether it's this week or next week, because whenever we have mailbag episodes, you guys bring it with some great questions. We love it. So lock it in and Duval.